Without a shadow of a doubt, I do make work for myself. This is now the third time I'm recording a newsletter. The first one was okay, and I took it upstairs into Final Cut and had a look. For some reason, there was some ghosting. It was just going in and out of focus, and I don't know why. I've dropped down the stop on here now, so I'm at 5.6. Maybe it was, I don't know. I've recorded like that upstairs, but it was ghosting. It's on eye tracking. It's subjects is people. I don't understand what that was about. But anyway, I could have let it go, but I wasn't happy with it. So then I came down and recorded it again. Then I was halfway through recording it and realised I didn't have the lav mic on. So here we are, version 3. Hopefully will be a good take. What I was explaining in the video today was, I'm getting used to this story now. I had a conundrum today. So I wrote the script for Wondershare yesterday, the iCloud data recovery video, sent it off to her yesterday afternoon our time, not knowing what the situation was, whether there's public holidays, whether she should be working today or not. Anyway, I woke up, there was no answer. I know sometimes she does send emails a bit later on, and sure enough, mid-morning our time, I got an email saying, yeah, the script's great, just a couple of small things we need changed. So I rewrote that paragraph, sent it back to her. She was totally happy, jobs are good and good to go. So, of course, if I can get the video out, I can get paid. I've already sent the invoice when she approved the script this morning. Obviously, we've got a siren going past, we're used to that now. Police that time, in our outdoor recording suite. So then, I spent the morning at home editing the photo for the day, putting it out on Threads, and I've got it scheduled ready to go out on Insta later on, put it onto Lightroom community and all that, of course. I tidied up the script a bit more, and as you know, what I do with the script is I just read it and read it and read it, so I just get comfortable with it, so that hopefully by the time I get to sit in front of the teleprompter, I can do the job. And did I tell you I saw some professional teleprompters up at MPTS? Oh my God. They are so easy, I mean, they're massive, huge, great, fat type, big wide screens. And I made another mistake today. When I went to start recording today and getting everything ready, I've got my iPad Pro at home, and I did let out some pretty hearty swear words. Because obviously, as you've seen, I put the iPad in front of the teleprompter, so I had to use the iPad mini. Actually, it wasn't a bad experience, I have to say. It did its job, but I was concerned it was going to be too small, but it wasn't too bad, and I think I've got it sort of set at the right level. I don't think it looks too unnatural reading. Anyway, so I did all I could at home today, and then it was a case of, right, recording or not. And tomorrow could be even hotter. The thermometer up in the studio is currently showing 33. I have got an AC unit up there, one of those box floor standing AC units. The building itself, the studio itself isn't AC'd, but that does absolutely nothing at all. I know you're supposed to have the door shut, window shut, make it into a cube. It's too small to, even though the studio is not big, it's too small to cool the room down. So all I have to do is have it right under me and on maximum, and it just about makes it work. I just about work up there. But the Mac, the M4 Pro Mac Mini, is really hot today, so I think I'm going to turn that off tonight when I go. It's just it's incubated heat up there at the moment. So I decided to come in today and record it because better the devil you know. When I was coming in today, the roads were really quiet. There's a recreation park around the corner from me. I'd expect on a bank holiday Monday like this for it to be absolutely jam-packed. It was empty. There's 2 people playing tennis. I think it's just too hot. Now, I know if you're watching this from Australia, you probably find it very funny us whinging about 32 or 33 degrees. But that's hot for us. It's not quite 40 that you get, but it's hot for us. And so the park was empty, the roads coming in were empty, and sure enough, the road outside the studio was quieter than normal. So on the final take, I did have the blackout curtains drawn, but I did have the windows open because it just was letting a little tiny bit of breeze through. But the problem I was facing was the minute I turned the AC unit off, sitting absolutely still, I began to bead up. There was sweat. Now, this isn't a vanity thing. It's just you don't want to switch on to see a creator sweating in front of the camera. It's just not professional. It doesn't look good. So I was sitting there as still as I could be and still beading up. And then I did it about 4 takes, I think. And in the end, what I was doing, I had a tissue, and I know where I'm going to be dropping on the screen recordings in the final edit. I was just dabbing. But what I did on the first couple of takes, I was dabbing like that, and obviously I was getting in the way of the mic. I was using the shotgun mic upstairs, and the audio was affected. So then I was learning to dab very quickly on the T-zone, and try and get rid of the places that I know aren't going to be seen. So when I was talking to camera, it didn't look too bad. I did have the black T-shirt on for it, and I think it showed less perspiration, should we call it, than the white top, this white top. But it's a hotter top to wear, so I'll change back into this now. But yeah, it is a problem upstairs. It's genuinely a problem, which is why I don't record upstairs during the summer much. You know, well, I did in the past, and I used to try and come in really early, but it doesn't make much difference. When it's hot like this, it's hot. And if it's, I think it's going to be record breaking, because this could be the earliest that we get to, they think it could get to 35 tomorrow. And that would be the earliest in the year we've got to 35. 35 in May hasn't happened before, apparently. So it was definitely a case of just biting the bullet and getting the job done. But I think it's okay, and I can do the edit from home tomorrow. Other than that, it was kind of a quietish day. There wasn't hardly any emails. The only email I had through was from another company with an app very similar to Wondershares, showing you how to break activation lock. My take on that is, even though it's money, that's unethical, because I've got associations with certain companies, and viewers would rightfully say, well, you just talked about this one, how can that be good? I've had a lot of emails from display companies. Well, I've got a great relationship with Espresso Displays. I use Espresso Displays. It would be really bad of me suddenly to take the money and talk about another display. It just wouldn't look professional. So there are times that you have to decide, no, that's not for me. But other than that, it was a pretty quiet day outside of what I was doing. Last night, I got watching some stuff on Concorde. Now, it was a funny story. My old man took a picture on Concorde, didn't fly it. My old man never flew. Mum and Dad never flew. And my mum wanted to fly, and I was going to take her on a flight somewhere in the UK or something. We just didn't ever get around to it. My mum and Dad never flew, even though my dad was in the RAF. And there was this thing on Concorde, and going back a few years to the school my daughter went to, there was a guy I met who wanted some design work done, and we spent the day going around some local churches or something I seem to recall. Anyway, he was a Concorde pilot, and he was on there. And that whole Concorde story, it's so magical to watch. It's so magical to watch. It's another era. And haven't we gone backwards? I mean, look at the planes now. They're just not as... I mean, I'm not into aviation, but that was some kind of beautiful, wasn't it? It really was some kind of beautiful. So that was fascinating to watch. I watched a couple of ones, and it's very unlike me, I watched a couple of episodes of the Kylie thing. I've had enough of that now, to be honest. And it's the French Open. I think that started yesterday. And there's that Rafa documentary coming out on Netflix. I think it comes out this Friday to coincide with the French. I'm not sure if it's called Clay in His Veins or just called Rafa. I saw a post up in London called Clay in His Veins. Anyway, if that's your bag, I'm going to certainly be watching that. And that comes out, I'd say, the end of this week. And in a few weeks' time, there's a documentary about Earth, Wind and Fire coming out on HBO, which looks my sort of thing all over. I started to watch a film called The Way of the World with Earth, Wind and Fire in yesterday, a Harvey Keitel film. It was absolutely awful. There was a studio scene at the beginning with Earth, Wind and Fire that was really good, but other than that, it was pants. The trouble is trying to get into watching a movie when it's really, really hot and bright sunshine. It just doesn't seem to work. So I don't know what the movie situation is going to be. I don't know if I'll get into one tonight or just watch them. That's how I got into the Concorde thing, actually. And then there was some New York restaurant things I got into, you know, world's best kind of thing. Some weird and wonderful restaurants. But that's where YouTube's so great. In fact, that Harvey Keitel movie was on Earth... Sorry, that Harvey Keitel movie with Earth, Wind and Fire. The whole movie was on YouTube. They do seem to put occasional full movies up on YouTube now, but yeah. And also, one last thing to mention before I go: I don't ever want this channel to be playing the algorithm game. I like the fact that it's free of that, and we can just chat about whatever comes up, be it cameras, be it mortgages, whatever. It's just a nice free place to be. But I did read. No, I think I heard Patty saying to Pete that the algorithm doesn't like it if you post too regularly. It doesn't have enough time to get its teeth into one video. And I don't know if it was when I wasn't doing it every day. I don't know. But there was a couple of videos we had that sort of got 400 or 500 views, and that hasn't happened in a long while, and I don't know why. And then I began thinking, well, am I posting too regularly? But I know the core of you who watch it, and we gained another 2 subs. We are ever nearer to 100 subs. Enjoy the fact that you can just dip in daily, have me playing in the background while you're doing whatever you're doing, and I just sort of bore you with the details of what I've been doing with my day. I don't want to stop doing it daily, but I don't know if it's harming me doing it daily, harming the channel. And yes, of course it'd be nice for the channel to grow, for us to get more subs. It'd be lovely. But equally, this isn't about the business, this is about just something I want to do. So it's one of those conundrums. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Right, 3rd time through. Let's hope there's no ghosting. I remember to put the lav mic on. I remember to tell the stories that I wanted to tell. Sitting out here actually feels reasonably cool. It's a fairly nice place to be. The direct sun's gone now. It's somewhere behind me over there. Yeah, I can see the sun shining towards that side of the road now, so obviously the sun's behind me. So this was reasonably cool here. I'm going to go back up into the cinder box, sit in front of the AC unit, clip this together, get it out, and then I might go and take a picture of the squirrel tonight. I've got the Reflex 600 lens at home, and there's a park near me, and there's loads of wildlife up there. And I just figured if I took that lens with me, I could be a long, long way away, so they wouldn't feel that anyone was watching them. I could get them in fairly natural environment shots. So I might do that. It's not that far of a walk from home. It's just whether I can be bothered when I get in, to be honest. 6 now. Might do. Anyway, I don't know. But let's go and get this done. Let's get this up. Squirrels is another thing. No, I can't remember it. There's something about squirrels that I saw the other day. Something that was funny. That it wasn't that there was calm going on in my mind. There's squirrels in my head, and they were at a rave. It was that kind of thing. Anyway, hope you enjoyed your Monday. And let's see what heat Tuesday brings. I'll speak to you tomorrow, I guess. Take care. See you then. Bye.